Hi, we're coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, and this is the first of our video blog series.
And we also have a regular blog at AReGONESailing.com.
We are from Boston, Massachusetts. We are parents of 3 young adult sons who are staying land-based while we take off sailing. And this is our Tartan 4000 AReGONE, and we are about 1 month into a 1-year sailing trip. The video blog series is so that we can share with you our love of sailing, some sailing experiences, plenty of sailing mishaps, and how we're learning along the way, and how we've prepared to take off sailing for a 1-year trip.
I'm Bob. I work as a software engineer. I have worked remotely for a couple of years now. Now I'm just working much more remotely and part-time. I'm still doing the same stuff every day, just a little less of it and a little further away.
And I am Linda, and I recently left my career in global clinical research working for a biotech company, and I am on a career sabbatical for a while.
We've been sailing together for just over 10 years. We both walked into the same class on the same day and decided we'd like to learn how to sail. We had no idea there was any such thing as a sailing school, and we just happened to pass one in Boston, and we became absolute fanatics from day one.
We started off sailing Solings and sonars the first year, and then the second year we moved on to J24s, and the third year we moved on to their 30-foot cruising class. We then decided to jump into boat ownership, and we purchased a lovely Pearson 34 and named her Fujin. And even though we owned our own boat and were out sailing a lot, we continued to take classes. We took ASA Navigation 105. We also took ASA Coastal 104 down in the BVI. So we continued to take classes. But the key thing that helped us continue to learn and hone our skills was just to get out there and sail. And we sailed a lot. We made a lot of mistakes, and we would learn from mistakes. We also got early on into a rhythm when we first started sailing that when we would go out and maybe run into a difficult situation, afterwards we would always debrief about it. We would always recount what did we do right, what did we do wrong, how might we handle this again differently the next time, or similarly. We both have become licensed captains. We have a sailing charter company called All Hands Sailing, and we do private charters in and around Boston Harbor.
After sailing around on our Pearson for several years, Linda got it into her head that she wanted a little bit bigger of an adventure. So that's where this whole 1-year journey has started. It was really her idea, but I got on board very early on with it, and here we are.
Several years ago, we developed what we started calling our 3-year plan. We knew it would take a bit of time to actually get our lives situated such that we could take off sailing for a year. And this 3-year plan had 3 components. The first component was to get a bigger boat. The second step was to get a smaller house. And the third step was to take off sailing for a year.
When we started shopping around for a boat to do this with, we had a few criteria. The main one was we wanted a really strong, sturdy, seaworthy boat.
The second criteria is we wanted a boat that would sail well.
The third criteria is that the boat had to be very comfortable and practical for extended cruising.
And the last criteria was I just wanted the boat to have kind of a pizzazz factor. I wanted her to be pretty.
We first saw the Tartan 4000 at the 2013 Newport Boat Show. We both got very fixated on it pretty quickly. We had a few other boats on our short list, but this one was always at the top of it. It's a great performing boat. It's really comfortable to live on, really comfortable to sail and do extended cruising on.
Even though we had a beautiful new boat, there was a lot of upgrades and refits that we needed to do to prepare for an extended sailing trip. We started a multi-tab spreadsheet to track what we needed to learn, to do, to buy, and various life logistics to further prepare to take off sailing for a year and change our lives quite dramatically.
Yeah, we had a project list that just kept growing. As we would finish things, we would think of 3 other things to add, so that list just grew. The next part of the plan was to get a smaller house, and we sort of changed our mind about that as we started looking at our options. And what we decided to do was to just get rid of the house and not have a house at all. We had several friends who were liveaboards at our marina, and it really didn't look so bad, so we thought we would try it.
I was expecting to tolerate living aboard during the winter months, but actually my overall assessment was that it was a very good experience. I love living aboard in the summer, and living aboard in the winter, it was just fine.
Step 3 of the plan was to go sailing.
Our journey began about 1 month ago in early September 2016. We left Boston on what started out to be a foggy morning, sailing under clearing skies towards the Cape Cod Canal. We had an unusually calm sail in Buzzards Bay, eventually anchoring at Third Beach near Newport, Rhode Island, which is one of our favorite anchorages in the area. Several days were spent in Newport, visiting with friends and saying goodbye, followed by a couple more days at Great Salt Pond and Block Island. We left Block Island just after a front had passed, which gave us strong wind behind the beam and generous 5-foot-plus seas. We sailed offshore south of Long Island directly to Cape May, New Jersey, taking about 36 hours to cover the 220 nautical miles. After a couple of days, another early morning departure from Cape May ensured that we would catch a flooding tide as we entered the Delaware Bay, eventually sailing through the Chesapeake and Delaware Canal and anchoring after about 15 hours on the water. We have been exploring northern Chesapeake Bay, including several beautiful remote anchorages and the towns of Havre de Grace, Baltimore, and Annapolis.
So we came to Annapolis. We knew there was some weather that was going to come in for a couple of days, so we left the anchorage that we were at previously in a little lull in the weather, although we had a pretty rough time coming down here. We came in and we came into Ego Alley, which is basically where the town docks are here, and they gave us a chance to tie up at between some pilings with a short finger pier. Normally we would back into something like that, but since the wind was coming from the east, we opted to come bow in so that the wind wouldn't be howling into our cockpit and down the companionway steps all the time. What we didn't really plan on was really how strong the winds would be and how off the side they would be from us, and they were really pushing us strong off this little finger pier. So this morning we actually could not get off the boat. So there's the way off the boat right there, and I don't think we're getting off the boat today. You know, there's worse places to be trapped than on a beautiful yacht, but we could not get off the boat this morning until the winds laid down a little bit.
And we had been offered to go in further into Ego Alley and be able to tie up alongside the bulkheads. We had opted not to do that, and we're certainly regretting that we did not do that this morning.
Yeah, but with the wind up the way it is now, we're not going to move the boat. So we're staying put.
So we're tucked in here.
Yeah.
That's about it for this video blog. If you'd like to contact us with any comments or questions, I can be reached at linda@aregonesailing.com.
And we also have our regular blog that's always up there. It's aregonesailing.com. On that blog, you can sign up for updates to it. You'll get a little notification whenever we write more stuff, which we're always doing. And it also shows our track of where we are now or where we've been recently when the boat's underway.
Until next time, I'm Linda.
And I'm Bob.
And we are gone.